Assalamualaikum.
Happy
Thursday! Welcome to Three Things Thursday, and today our topic is going to be about understanding behavior. Behavior could be any behavior. It could be challenging behavior whereby the child hits, bites, scratches, grabs, and it could also be behaviors like requesting for things and working on communication. So something that's very important for you to understand is when we're trying to teach children how to behave, there is always a three-term contingency. So today's topic is going to be called ABC. When we look at a behavior, we will always try and understand what is the antecedent, A, what is the behavior, B, what was the consequence of the behavior, C. Antecedent, behavior, consequence. These are the three things. These are the three things that are the foundation for understanding behavior, all behavior. So now we're going to do a demonstration whereby a child is going to have a behavior and I'm going to explain to you what the antecedent, behavior and consequence was.
Okay, let's play with blocks. Static block. Block.
Block.
Block.
Block.
Very good. Static block. Block.
Block. No grabbing. No grabbing.
No grabbing block 1. No winding for block 1. No hitting for block 1. No grabbing block 1, 2, 3. No winding for block 1, 2. No hitting for block 1. No grabbing block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Block.
Block.
Very good. Block. Static block. Block.
Block.
Very
Good.
good.
In this demonstration, the behavior was hitting, whining, and that is the behavior that we all noticed. But then you need to understand, why did the behavior do that? Why did the child do that? The child did that because they wanted the block, so they started grabbing. So the antecedent was motivation was strong, but they were requesting inappropriately by grabbing and whining. The behavior was grabbing and whining, and the consequence was the therapist ran a protocol called the counterman protocol, which we've done in our previous videos, whereby the therapist says no grabbing for block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till the child is calm. If the child is not calm, you do not continue your count. And then you prompt the child to say block, and then they'll say block, and you give them the block. So in this situation, the antecedent was the child was motivated for the block, the behavior was the child was grabbing, and the consequence was teaching a child to appropriately communicate. This is how we understand behavior. Let me give you another example that you might relate to. Let's say you've sat down with your child to do maths homework, and you present them with a maths worksheet, and then the child tears the paper. In this situation, what was the behavior? The behavior was the child tore the paper. What was the antecedent? The worksheet was maths. What was the consequence? Did you bring another maths worksheet and make them finish it, or did you remove the activity? So when parents often come, they say my child hits or my child does not want to do writing. You need to understand why. What is the trigger? Maybe it's too easy, maybe it's too difficult, maybe it's too hard. Or maybe it's boring and they don't have incentives. So incentives are a very important thing to use if you know a particular activity is going to be hard for your child. They may not do it in English, but they might do it in maths. So therefore, when you know it's maths time, your antecedent should be to use an incentive by saying, okay, if you want this, you have to do the sheet. And therefore, the behavior is not going to happen. So the goal in this understanding behavior is to eliminate inappropriate behaviors by teaching appropriate behaviors. So that is in summary for today's Three Things Thursday. And I want you to always try and understand, when you're trying to understand why somebody does what they does, always see what was the trigger, what was the behavior, and what was the consequence. Thank you for tuning in today, and inshallah see you next week. Khuda Hafiz.